What time is it there?
6 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to be doing sprints for a few hours. I think there's going to be some people coming in and out as well, for anyone who is interested. But Abby, do you want to like say a little bit about your channel and the team you're representing for Once Upon a Readathon and all that jazz, what you're reading?
All that jazz. Okay. Hi, I'm Abby from the channel Abby Salter. I read predominantly fantasy with some sci-fi and some romance mixed in, but mostly fantasy. I've been doing YouTube for a couple of years now and gushing about books on the internet. So what I'm reading, and I'm Team Witches. So go Team Witches if there's any witches in the chat. I hope we're winning. I don't know because I haven't submitted any books yet myself. So I have read though. I have read. So what I'm currently reading, I need to remember what I'm reading these for. I'm reading A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which was a surprise pick. Yesterday, I was going to pick up Bands of Mourning. I was like, it's Bands of Mourning Day. Got to the bookshelf and went, no, I don't feel like Bands of Mourning. And then I just picked this one up randomly. So this is what I'm reading. It's got romance and red and brown on the cover, I think was what I was going for with this one. And then I'm also reading Take a Hint, Danny Brown, which I haven't figured out exactly what I'm putting this in for yet. And I'm like halfway through maybe. I'm listening to the audiobook of this one. So
how are you liking Take a Hint, Danny Brown? I read the first one in that series.
I'm liking it more than the first one. I liked Chloe Brown, but I didn't love it. Whereas I'm liking these characters together. I've just been listening to it today, so I don't even know where I'm at in it because I just had the audiobook on. Chapter 13.
Okay. I think I give the first one 4 stars. Sorry, I've got a kid waking up from a nap right now.
Over halfway, apparently.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'm liking these characters. What about you? What are you reading?
I just finished the Kraken's Sacrifice last night. Well, I didn't really finish it. I actually DNF'd it. It was god awful. And so I am continuing on with a book I'm actually enjoying, which is Grace of Kings. And I have less than 200 pages left, so I'm hoping to actually finish it today. I'm listening to the audiobook and read it along, but I think I'm going to go ahead and bump up the speed and read along with it because I've been listening to it at like 1.8, but not reading along really, just while I'm like doing dishes and stuff like that. So I'm going to just kind of like really concentrate and try to like knock it through. Yes. But I'm really liking it. I'm feeling like 4 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking it. It's dense, but it's totally unique. And I'm really liking the politics. So I'm kind of like hit and miss with politics and fantasy, right? Because I studied politics and it's like something that I'm kind of passionate about is like history and international relations and stuff. So sometimes when books are super political, I can either really like it or really be like, okay, this is totally cliche. I've seen this before. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other times that I'm like, okay, like I really like the direction they're going in with this, or like a unique way of talking about it, right? So I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah, I think you can tell he's very intelligent, I think. Henry. Like you can tell he knows what he's got a plan with the series and like he knows what he's doing with it.
At first I was like
very well researched.
Yeah, at first I was like, I thought I knew where it was going. And now I'm like, oh, okay.
I think he does that a few times. You're like, okay, I get where we're going with this. Then you're like, oh, wait, that came out of left field. Okay, right.
Right. I've already been surprised a few times, which is good because it is so dense and almost like a history book that those surprises are so necessary, you know? So, yeah, I'm having a good time with it. Everyone, let us know what you guys are reading, what step you're on, what prompts you're working on. Hi, Cassidy. Hey, Kate. Hey, I live for you. Hey, everyone. Fairy godmothers. Yeah, let us know what team you're on, what books you're reading. Cinder, hello. Hello. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad we've got you. I'm going to be trying to keep going for a few hours. We'll just have to see how the day goes. You know, my life is always a little bit dependent on the children and how much my husband can take. I'm working my way. Huh?
She's reading the same book as me.
Oh, yeah. Shadow in the Ember. So, funny story. I was on sprints last night with Jess and Isa. And well, Kaylee was there for a little bit too. But me and Jess were actually discussing the possibility of doing a like From Blood and Ash read along for the series. Because I read the first book and I've not felt the need to continue. And I was like, well, if you force me to, I'll do it.
Yeah. I really liked the first book and the second book. I quite liked the third book. We weren't friends. I found it was a bit of a slog. But I'm actually really liking this one, although this one's like the prequel spin-off. So you've got different characters. But I've really enjoyed the first 150 pages I've read of this.
Okay.
But I'm a bit apprehensive for continuing on with the main series. I felt like I wanted some fantasy romance.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. I don't hear anyone be like, I'm obsessed with every book in this series.
I think that's the thing. Like the first book started so strong, and then I mean, I haven't read the fourth book, but like the third one was definitely a dive.
I think I would have to reread the first book and then go from there. But I think if I did a read along, I would do it. Like that would force me to do it and quick. But I'm about to start a Malazan read along. So
I mean, they're very different series. I've not read Malazan. They're very, very different. I guess in tone and style and everything to do with them, but they're both quite long.
Yeah, I'm nervous about the Malazan.
Yeah, I haven't really had too much of a desire to pick it up. I think I'm daunted by like how daunting it is.
The thing, I'm in a super epic fantasy mood right now. And okay, let's have a talk here. I was starting my lists for the end of the year, like my favorites, my least favorites, like most disappointing books, all that stuff. I'm going through and I realized something about myself. There was barely any thrillers or horror in my favorites, and like half of my most disappointing was thriller or horror. And so I'm like, I didn't have any epic fantasies in my most disappointing.
So, fantasy queen.
So I'm like, I think I want to concentrate more on epic fantasy, romance, and sci-fi next year. I still want to read some thrillers as palate cleansers because they're fun and I like them, but I don't think I'm gonna like push them into my TBR as much.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I noticed that as well with like a couple of years ago. I was like, this most disappointing is mostly thrillers, and there was like a few sort of romances that didn't work for me, but I was like, and then there was the old fantasy book that was a big disappointment, but like there was quite a few thrillers in there, and I was like, well, maybe the genre is just not really working for me.
Right. And I've had some favorites in the thrillers. It's just so much less likely. You know?
Yeah.
Babel, I want to try that one out. Did you read that? You read that?
I really liked Babel. Yeah.
Babel. I don't know.
Babel's, I think it's a British American thing. Babel's British, Babel's American.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. The Book Eaters. I hear everyone talking about this one recently.
I feel like I've heard lots of people haul it, but I haven't heard like loads of people read it yet.
Right. Yeah. Buddy reading it with a friend this weekend. No idea if I can fit it into a prompt, but I'm sure you can fit it into something. Reading some novellas from the selection series, Princesses, awesome. Oh, you were on our live last night. Oh, awesome. Okay.
Are you
So
planning
we'll
to wait until? Are you planning to wait until it's like finished, or are you planning to do it like before?
Well, when she said maybe like leading up to the next book release, because she's about to come with one soon,
Yeah.
right?
I think because I was looking at it since starting this, I think the second one in this prequel series is coming out like this week, and then we still would need books 5 and 6 in the main series, and then the third one in this one. So still 3.
So it's a trilogy prequel series and like 5 or 6 in the main series.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
We're still waiting for 3 more, I think.
So I think that she was talking about a possibility of it being like led up to like the next book release, but I don't know. It just we were just talking about it, so we'll see. I'm leaning towards it, but I think it'd be fun. But I also run 2 book clubs.
Yeah.
So, and I'm doing the Malazan read along.
Yeah, so it's managing to fit it all in.
Yeah. I love all. Oh, you love all of the From Blood and Ash. Okay. Well, that's one person. Okay.
That gives you some hope for the 4th one.
Right. Reading Graceling, hoping to finish it tonight. Nice. No date for this is for the next one, I think. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do a sprint. Maybe, are you okay with 45 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
7. Sorry, to the hour. I'm guessing that's what we're doing.
Yes, to the hour. So I just gotta set up my little it's like a Belle's Fairy Tale Cottage. Sorry, you can totally hear. I've got one of them is throwing a temper tantrum. So I thought this was super cute.
Oh, it is.
I thought so. So we're gonna go to the hour. And so we will see you guys in 45 minutes.
Cool. See you then. Hello.
Hello. How are we doing? We have a Maria.
Hi. I don't know how long I'm here for, but I'm here.
You're good. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, haven't read it all today yet so far. I just woke up, walked my dog, had breakfast.
You're at the beginning of your day and I'm at the end.
Yep, exactly. Flip reverse of that.
What are you reading?
I think I'm going to be reading Godbreaker. That's what I should be reading. So, third book in the Blacklist.
Oh, How are you liking that series?
I'm torn. The first one was 5 stars for me, so I loved it. And then the second one was very much like middle book syndrome. I had a good time, but I don't really know that it progressed us anywhere. And the problem I'm having with this third one is I feel like this should have been the second book, and then we should have picked up where all the threads are coming together, because right now there's a lot of POVs. It's a very multi-POV story. I think there's like 9 different POVs in the first like 100 pages, and they're all dealing with a different conflict. And so unless this like somehow comes together in the next 100 pages, I feel like it's all over the place a little bit.
I've got the first book. I haven't read it though.
I really liked the first one. I think it does something really unique for fantasy, where it kind of talks about like cultures trying to make peace instead of actually like going to battle or war. So it has a really cool premise, but I feel like the other ones lost the plot a little bit.
That's the series that's like about the raiders.
Yeah, where the culture has always been raided by this like other people across the water, and they come and they're actually seeking asylum and refuge because there's like a bigger threat. But that bigger threat is also taking a really long time to kind of like play into anything. So I feel like it just could have been tighter, and then it would have been a better story.
How did you do, Abby?
I read 53 pages.
Awesome.
Well, I listened to it. I was in the middle of folding laundry when we started Sprint, so I went and finished folding my laundry. And then I'm in the middle of doing a jigsaw puzzle, and I was like, well, I don't feel like I was like I should just keep listening for that sprint instead of going for my physical book. So I did some of my jigsaw.
Is that one of the like Chloe Brown ones? Is that what it looks like from the cover?
Oh yeah, I'm reading Taking Danny Brown.
Like it looks like that series.
Yes, yeah.
Fun.
So doing quite well. Supposedly, I only have an hour and 10 left.
Nice.
I just threw some puzzle pieces on the floor.
We've been trying to do puzzles, but it's hard with the toddlers and the cats roaming around.
I've got I'm just doing it on the table right now, but I do have this roll board thing that you can like do your puzzle on it, and then when you're not working on it, you can just roll it up and it doesn't take up that much space.
I've heard of those. They're magic to me, because how does it not fall apart? Like I've never had one, and it sounds amazing.
I think you have to be, if you've got loads of like pieces just like all over the place, they will move around. It's better when you have like chunks, because then it will stay in place.
That's so cool.
That sounds like amazing.
You should get one, Hannah. I think they're like felt.
Never heard of that.
Or something.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cheap as well. Like.
I read 36 pages of Grace of Kings, and then like a good chunk of that I spent going back, as I often do with this book, and trying to figure out something.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that's been a lot that I just like, I'm like, wait, how did that go down? What did that, wait, which one was that? Who was like,
who was that? How did that link?
Right. So there was a lot of that I actually had to go back and like kind of reread a chapter, and then also try to figure out for sure whoever this other character was, because it wasn't enough explanation on the character list. I was like, I think this is that person, but I'm not sure. It's going well.
I started Grace of Kings in August, and I really want to get back to it. I put it down, but I was loving it.
Yeah, it's dense, but I'm liking it. It's the kind of like super political fantasy that I really like. Just started after, huh?
I'd be intrigued to go back and read that first book again now, having finished the series, because my feelings on it were like 3.5 star, and then I loved the rest of the series. So I'm like, what happens if I go back? Like, would I bump up my rating for Grace of Kings?
Because you and like other booktubers have prepared me so well, Abby, I went into it. I was like, this is exactly what I knew it was going to be. And I think that's why I was especially loving it, because I didn't expect it to be giving me anything different. I'm like a very character-driven reader. And so I knew, because of what you'd all said, like it's going to have that like bird's eye view and be that distance. And so for me, that helped a lot. So maybe you kind of knowing what like the series, that might also bump up your rating when you go back.
Yeah, maybe. And then I also had like lower expectations when I went into Wall of Storms, because I was like, well, I didn't love the first book. And then I got into Wall of Storms and I was like, I'm obsessed. I'm here for this series.
I think that Patrick raised his rating the second time he read Grace of Kings. I think. I think the second time was a 5-star, and I thought the first time I think it was like a 4-star. I could be wrong.
I'm not too sure. I can't remember.
Just started ACOTAR today. Fun thing is I joined the Wolves, but all books in the first prompt I read have wolves in them. Red Riding Hood, ACOTAR, Crystal Cave. Awesome.
I feel like you've had to join the Wolves after reading books that like.
Right, yeah, that cottage was really cute. That was super magical. I liked it. I'm glad you liked it. Switched from Babel to Siege of Storm. I read 33 pages. Really enjoying being back in the Grishaverse. Awesome. I love that for you. Didn't read. Filmed a vlog clip. Awesome. Made my 8-year-old brother hot chocolate. Can you make me some? Got him settled in for a movie after playing in the snow. Oh my gosh, you have snow?
It sounds so wintry and magical. I'm jealous.
Yeah, London seems to be back in like, it's got a bit warm here again. It's like, I feel like it was like 17 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
Like that 50s? Is pretty warm, yeah. I'm trying to remember the conversion.
We're like high 50s, low 60s.
I'm in Washington, and it's like 36 right now, so we're lower than you guys are.
Yeah, 62. I think here where I am, it's a little bit warmer than that.
But that's not normal for London at this time.
Yeah, it's usually a little bit cooler here. We're having a warm bout for the last week or so. And then next week it's supposed to drop a lot.
Well, I moved to Washington from California because I wanted seasons. And then this summer it went into like almost end of September, beginning of October. It was still really hot. And I felt like I was back in California. So I think it's just a warmer year all around. But then I think it's going to be more drastic cold as well. Like I think we're seeing extremes.
I was just in Canada for work, and they're like, it's so cold for November because it was like -10, and they were like, it's never this cold normally in November. We never have this much snow normally in November. And I was like, okay, you've got it cold here.
Interesting. Yeah, it's all over, I guess.
Yeah, global warming, you know.
Sad times.
Just joined reading The Appeal. Is that a like suspense? Finished my book, updating my reading tracker for the year, trying to decide what to read next. Ooh, do you have options? Do you want us to vote? Do you need a poll pick? I love pushing my opinions on people. Didn't get any reading done, but I'm catching up on reviews, so I feel productive at least. Awesome.
Also, hi, Kate. I will respond to your buddy read text after in the next sprint.
2 chapters into reading Stardust Thief. How are you liking it? Forgot to say before, Team Princesses. Awesome. Working on the second half of step 2, half of step 3, and all of step 4 simultaneously. I'm like that too. I read multiple books at once. Though right now I'm just reading one, which is weird. I'm at chapter 11 of Red Sister. Ooh, and loving it. I want to read that. I really, really want to read that. My husband really liked it. I don't think he's continued on yet, but he really liked it, and I'm intrigued. I wanted to read that in winter because I think it's set in like
it's cold.
Yeah. I would be really interested in a readathon of Blood and Ash series for sure. Awesome. I'll be talking to Jess and we'll try to see if it's something that we can work out, because doing a read along of that series I think could be fun. I think it might be a fun contrast for me, like Malazan.
Malazan, fantasy,
very romance. Yeah.
Break it up.
Have you read it, Hannah, or is it a reread?
I've read the first one.
Okay.
So we would be reading, I would assume it'd be like maybe monthly or something, where we would read every book in this out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's our first snowfall this season. Was 70 degrees Fahrenheit on Thursday. Wow. I think that's like 18 or 19 degrees Celsius. I don't know. 32 and snowing all day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hi for Maria. Murder mystery. Okay, yeah. It sounded like it would be something like that. Okay, so like multimedia or kind of like was that epistolary? Epistolary. Really enjoying Stardust Thief so far, chapter 12. Awesome. Nice. Definitely getting ready before the end of the year.
I enjoyed it.
I own it.
Have you read it yet?
It leans more YA or like bridge YA to adults. So I think going in knowing that, I had a more fun like time with it. I think it doesn't give me like the depth I would want from an adult fantasy.
Is that, see, there's like two, I feel like, that I kind of get confused that came out this year. They both had similar covers. I think they were both Middle Eastern kind of like inspired. I could be wrong.
I can't think of any of the second one. But you're probably right, though.
And I got them confused because I know there was one that the Late Night Crew hated. Was that Stardust Thief?
No, they did not read Stardust Thief. What did they read?
City of Dusk.
City of Dusk.
Yeah.
That's
they
the one.
do have similar covers. Yeah, you're right.
They're similar covers, and aren't they both Middle Eastern inspired?
I don't think
they both don't
know about City of Dusk.
Okay, I thought it was.
Maybe. I know that they had the similar problem, though, that one also was like YA leaning when they expected adults. So
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are.
I've heard better things about the Stardust one.
Both of them are on my TBR.
Oh,
okay. I've heard better reviews.
They're in the exact same pile. They're pretty much next to each other. They're in this like pile of like pretty hardbacks. Like pretty 2022 release hardbacks is where they're sat.
They do pretty covers.
Yes.
And although I feel as though I've seen quite a few negative reviews for City of Dusk, reading the blurb, it sounds like I'm going to like it.
I haven't read that one. I just went off of the bad reviews and was like, maybe not.
I already owned it by the time the bad reviews came because it was in the Fairy Loot box.
Yeah, I wonder too how the overall series, because I feel like sometimes the first book are negative reviews and then people start loving a series as it goes on. So I feel like I could be convinced to come back to it.
Yeah. Just came back from the hospital after a bad fall. Oh no. I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to lay down and read some. Yeah. Just take it easy. Maybe have someone make you some like coffee or tea or something like that and just chill up in a blanket and read. And I hope you feel better soon. How do we feel about a 45-minute?
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
How late is it for you, Abby?
It's 7:15.
Okay.
So it's fine. But I'll probably leave after this one to get dinner because I will be hungry.
Mm-hmm. You eat as late as I do. I eat around 8 o'clock too.
Yeah.
We have to eat early because the kids, but oftentimes I'll just feed the kids and then like kind of snack through. Mm-hmm. Just depending.
Most people I know here in the US eat at like 5 or 6, which is like as a European family, we can't do that.
That's too early.
Right?
I grew up eating at 7, but my kids go to bed so early.
Like the rare occasion of eating at 6, I'm hungry again at like 9.
I'm somewhere between like 7:30 and 8:30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I got invited to this dinner on, what day was it? Tuesday. And they're like, we'll meet at 5:30. I was like, we're meeting at 5:30 for dinner? Like, like seriously? The restaurant's going to be open?
Everyone is here. And it blows my mind because I'm like, do they all not have jobs? By the time when I used to commute for my job, I'd get home at 5:30 and then you still have to cook. How do they eat at 5 or 6?
Yeah, I'm like, you've got to cook, you've got to get home, you've got to like have your collapse time where you just don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
it's different when you have kids though, because they go to bed so early and you need their food to digest before they go to bed, and have their calm down time and bath time. So if they go to bed at 7, we have to eat at 5.
Yeah, I guess like if I'm working from the office, I won't get home until like 6:30. So it's impossible for me to eat at 5:30.
Same here.
Yeah, I used to eat a lot later. I miss it, but I heard about this book recently, and it looks really good.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it, but I've heard of it.
I love the title, and I wish it was. I think it's like speculative fiction leaning or something, right? I almost want it to be more fantasy. Like I want a fantasy where women were actually dragons, but I do want to read that one.
I get what you mean. I'm like, I've heard it sort of leans more contemporary, but the title makes it sound like it should be so fantasy,
right? Like I would be all over that. That sounds like such a cool concept.
So I'm gonna go ahead and set this fairy tale cottage back up. I was thinking about changing it, but I feel like we all really liked it. Are you guys good with the fairy tale cottage?
I'm happy with the fairy tale.
I loved it.
Okay. Cool. So we'll just go to 3 or to the hour again. And we will see y'all in just under 45 minutes. Hello.
Hello.
How did we do?
Good. Like 40-ish something pages. I always forget to count.
Yeah.
I read 48 pages, 47 pages, 48 pages, something like that. I don't know. And I think I have like 100 pages, or maybe just over 100 pages left.
Ooh.
Getting towards the end.
Are you going to jump into the next one or hold off for a bit?
No, because I have I had just started Daughter of the Forest before, like a few days ago, and I was like, well, I'm gonna wait and finish Grace of Kings before I try to continue Daughter of the Forest, because it's dense as well. Kind of not as dense, but like it's not,
It's
like
got
light.
a lot of exposition at the beginning, Daughter of the Forest.
It's a slow beginning, yeah. But I read it in a day once it got going. Like I blew through it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, that is quite a long book to read in a day.
Yeah. I mean, it was also like a 24 or it was a 48-hour readathon sort of thing going on. So I had incentive, but I was so captivated by it. I felt like I was her. Like I was also being silent all day because I would just go to the kitchen, grab a snack, leave, and just keep being immersed in the book. It was so good.
I mean, I think I read it over like 3 days, maybe. Like I read it quite quickly for how long it is. But I was like, I need to read this book. I just can't put this book down. Oh, I have to go away and do other things. But I want to read this book.
It's so engrossing. I loved it.
Yeah, I only got like 25 pages in, and I was like, okay, I'm going to finish Grace of Kings, and then I'm going to like actually concentrate on this as my next fantasy book. So I'm going to be reading that, and then like I just want to read epic fantasy. So I think the next one I'm going to pick up is either The Great Hunt or Madship or Wrath.
Well, I'd vote for Wrath.
I know. I want to read that before the end of the year, but I haven't read Eye of the World in like, I think I read that like a year ago. So I really need to continue, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
So,
but Wrath would finish off a series.
It would, and no matter what, I'm reading Wrath in the next like 6 weeks. So no matter what I'm reading, well, no matter what, I'm definitely reading Wrath, and I'm definitely reading The Great Hunt before the end of the year.
I'm planning to binge the last 3 of the Faithful and the Fallen in December, and I'm so excited. It's taking like everything I have not to do it this month, but it didn't work with what I needed the prompts for.
That's going to be quite a binge.
I feel like it's a series that will be really easy to binge, though. I feel like it'll be one, because I finished Malice, and even though the beginning had been slow for me, the end was so good that I wanted to go straight into Valor. And the only reason I didn't is because I had a book club discussion, and I picked up Valor, was like, I'm going to forget exactly where the line is between these books and spoil things.
Yeah, because they literally just go straight on. Like, there is no real break between the books. You just like straight into the next one.
Exactly. But I feel like that will work in my favor then in December when I just want to blow through it.
I think I read the final 2 back-to-back, Ruin and Wrath.
Nice.
Because I finished Ruin and I had to read Wrath straight away. I had no choice.
Yeah. Yes, struggle. I want to pick it up. I really want to pick it up, but I'm scared it'll put me like into a little bit of a slump after. So I want to read the epic fantasy that I need to get done before I read Wrath. And I just read Ruin, so I don't think I'm going to forget anything. Like I just read it. So waiting a couple extra weeks, I don't think will be a big deal. But there's actually a whole bunch of epic fantasy I want to read in December and the rest of this month too. Like I want to read retellings, but I really want to read epic fantasy. I'm having trouble here.
I support you. Carry that into next year.
Yeah, because I was like planning this whole time. I was like, I really want to read Red Sister in December, because it's supposed to be like wintry, and I also wanted to read shoot. I think Mad Ship. I wanted to read Mad Ship. And yeah, I just want to read everything. Theo Abdallah's, is it Abdallah?
Thiago Abdallah.
Yeah, yeah.
Touch of
His
Light.
book, I wanted to read that one too, because the sequel comes out in January. And
Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. There's a lot.
I mean, the end of the year.
Oh my god.
The end of the year is the time for like the big epic fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Winter.
I'm definitely in that.
Epic fantasy is the time for like all the whole year is my time for epic fantasy, but winter especially.
Yeah. I know, I read it all year too, and then in winter I'm still like, this is especially the time it feels extra special.
It's like I just want my fuzzy blanket and like a really big book.
And just sitting for hours.
I have to read Oathbringer by the end of the year. I have to.
I'm attempting that this month. We'll see.
It just has to happen. It's been a year now since I read Words of Radiance. I have to read Oathbringer.
Wait, Maria, that's the one you're on too, right?
And I'm theoretically reading it next week is when Emma and I are starting it. So
y'all need to buddy read it. Just force each other.
Yeah, Abby, join us.
I'm meant to be buddy reading Engines of Empire next week. Yeah.
Well, Oathbringer is good. My favorite one was Words of Radiance. But I know a lot of people's favorite is Oathbringer, and a lot of people's favorite is Words of Radiance. Like those seem to be like the two most popular ones. Rhythm of War was definitely my least favorite.
I'm trying to figure out when to read it because like next week I'm meant to be reading Engines of Empire as a buddy read, and I have however long that takes me. Maybe then I have a week, and then I'm like away for pretty much like 2 weeks. So the first week I probably won't be reading. The second week I will definitely be reading, but I can't carry Oathbringer around.
I was gonna say if you're going away, it might be a bit big.
It can't be coming with me. So then it's like the middle of December, the 12th
and the year on it,
which I could do. I could read it on the 12th of December because that's 2 weeks. I've got 2 weeks to the lead up to Christmas, maybe. But that's the only time that I'm going to have a chance to read it, I think.
I think you should read it.
Yeah, it's probably very close to the end of the year. I slot it in then, that 12th of December.
I think we might end up carrying it over into December a little bit, but I also have so many big plans for December. So it does feel it's like and it's because it's just so long. Like every time you're trying to fit it into plans, it's extra hard to plan for it.
Because it's like 1,200 pages. And I mean, I shouldn't be daunted by it because I read like the whole of the Dandelion Dynasty this year. 2 of those books were over 1,000 pages, but like
I'm still intimidated by Priory, even though I've read like the first 2 Stormlight Archive books. So sometimes it's weird things that don't make logical sense.
Yeah.
Priory was slower than any of the Stormlight books.
But you fly through Stormlight, and I don't have that same thing, so I don't know.
Yeah. I flew through every book except for Rhythm of War.
Okay.
And I just felt like that book was 200 pages too long.
So it should have only been 1,000 pages and not 1,200 or however long.
If they just take out 200 pages on Fabrials, be good.
That scares me because I thought the other ones should be shorter. So we'll see.
But maybe you'll like the content, though. I didn't like the there's a specific content in there that, to me, I just found boring and stupid.
I think I'll be in a good place going to Oathbringer because I finished off lots of series in the past month and this month as well. Like, so it's not as though I've got loads of other series I feel as though I have to finish by the end of the year. So hopefully, if I go into that, I won't be feeling as though I should be reading other things.
I feel like you did really well with your series.
Yeah, like, I'm one of those people that's like, don't like to have too many ongoing things because then I feel as though I have to restart them the whole time, like go back to the beginning because I've forgotten everything.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. I've started having that like October, November panic of, oh gosh, I should start checking these off because there's more than I'm comfortable with.
And I feel as though my enjoyment is better when I read things closer together instead of having big gaps. If I read a series through like back to back almost, or like with a month in between, then my enjoyment will be much better than if I'm waiting for the next release or something.
Yeah, my memory is terrible, so 100% same.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reread Stormlight before the 5th one comes out for sure. Have you started the Live Ship Traders, Abby?
No, I own it.
About it.
I own Ship of Magic. I haven't read it. I read Assassin's Apprentice like 5 years ago. And I wasn't a huge fan of Assassin's Apprentice, but I'm going to give her another try with Ship of Magic.
I definitely recommend that because I read them backwards. I read Live Ship first and then the Farseer trilogy, but I did not like Farseer, and I did enjoy Live Ship a lot more.
This is awesome, getting the bonus points. 15 pages, laundry, lunch, and got a chapter read, 25 pages, 40 pages of Siege and Storm. Awesome. I'm glad you're liking it. First chapter of The Book Eaters, a bit of a creepy start. Yeah, it's a creepy kind of synopsis from what I remember. Mad Ship. Okay, there's a vote for Mad Ship. Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm feeling like The Great Hunt, but we'll see because I still have to read Daughter of the Forest. But then I was thinking, like, no, I need to do a poll pick.
Because weren't you planning to read like a book for every single prompt? Weren't you planning to read like a book?
Yeah, totally. That was the plan.
Out the window now.
That was definitely the plan.
Is that still the plan?
No.
Like
the plan is Hannah's gonna just try to get reading done while constantly like having to like look at questions on Discord.
That's why I was wondering. I was like, she's putting some really big books. Is she still planning to read like a book for every prompt? Like, that's impressive.
The fact that you're doing so much and still reading is insane.
This is my 4th book of the Readathon.
Nice.
So definitely 15 books is not happening.
You could read 10 very short books.
I could, but I'm in an epic fantasy mood.
Yeah.
Or fantasy in general. And I still need to read The Spinning Silver. I still need to read Daughter of the Forest. Those two are definitely happening this month. And then I really wanted to read Daughter of the Moon Goddess, but then I also want to read The Great Hunt and
Daughter of the Moon Goddess was a good like palette cleanser because it lent on the YA side of fantasy, so it was really quick to read. So in between some of these more epic things, it might be a good break.
Yeah.
No.
Not happening.
No, yeah, I'm that's the plan, is to read it, and it's just going to be the end of the month, and I was hoping to read it before the 15th because the second book comes out on the 15th, and I was going to use it for debut author.
Yeah.
Well, you still can.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
Yep.
The book's out, isn't it?
No,
maybe in the UK.
Well, I saw it in the bookshop today.
I think you guys get things a few days earlier than we do.
But maybe the bookshop just had it out early. But I didn't buy it because I wanted the sprayed edge edition, and Waterstones only had the normal one. And I was like, well, I'm not spending full price on the normal edition.
Only stay here.
No, it comes out on the 15th here. Hey, buddy.
I was like, I'll only spend full price on the one with the nice sprayed edges.
The really pretty one, yeah. Oh, I want to read that series so bad just because they're such beautiful books. You're good.
Yeah, looks like it came out already in the UK.
Do you have release dates on Tuesday as well, or is that a US thing?
Thursdays.
Oh, see, maybe that's why. Maybe
it came out on the 10th of November.
Everything comes out Tuesdays here.
Yeah, we're Thursdays, unless there's like something like a big release where they coordinate it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm sure Sanderson will get coordinated and we'll go to the Tuesday. But generally we release 2 days after you.
Okay. In this case, I guess earlier than us. Interesting.
Sorry, my Jonah wandered in here. And so my husband was coming to like get him for me because he's not supposed to be in here. This is my like work craft library room or whatever. Okay, Abby, are you staying for one more or you're gonna go get food?
I need to eat.
Okay.
Food is definitely calling.
I need to get everyone linked. I'm gonna do that during this one, but I'm gonna have Abby linked below for anyone who's not already subscribed to her. You should definitely go subscribe because her content is amazing. And Maria, are you staying around?
I'm probably at least one more sprint.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more. This is gonna be the last sprint, and I'm gonna do like we'll go to 4 o'clock or something like that, and then that'll be the last sprint, or the 0 o'clock. You know what I'm saying. And Abby, you go get something yummy to eat and fill your belly. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Good to see you, Abby.
Bye.
And I need to go ahead and get everyone linked because I usually do that like the morning of, and I don't think I did this morning because it was kind of a crazy morning.
Cassidy was saying that like LNC has gotten so lazy that they don't do it until like several days or don't do it at all. And so we're actually very on top of it, according to her.
Yeah, I think it's, yeah. Well, I want to make sure everyone follows Abby because she is a flippin' sweetheart. And so I'm going to have everyone, and then I'm going to have your channel linked too, so everyone can follow you. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that now because I cannot multitask apparently. I'm just going to put this back because this is like only an hour long thing. A lot of the ones that I've done before are like 6 hours long, and this one's like an hour, so I keep having to like reset it.
It's super cute though.
I think so. It's so like fairy tale-esque or whatnot. Hey, Kristen.
Oh, hey.
Can the son of the devil be considered royalty? I've never heard of that book, so I don't know. I guess you'll have to check the synopsis. Or maybe someone else in the chat knows. But I've actually not heard of that book. Let's see. So if we want to go ahead and sprint to the hour, like the top of the hour, and I will see you guys in 40 minutes. Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing? How did we do? How did you do, Maria?
I'm bored is how I did.
Oh no.
I'm only this far in, so like I just keep waiting for things to happen. And it's I don't know. I don't want to DNF, but I'm not feeling great.
And that's the third book, right? The final book.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it should not be boring halfway through.
That's what I'm saying. The second book, it felt like I was interested enough, but nothing happened that like had any major significance in my opinion. And with this one, it's like things are happening, but not at a very slow rate for a conclusion. So I'm just at this point, like I want it to be doing something that it's not. And it sucks because I don't want to, like if I DNF, do I unhaul book 2 and 3 and keep 1? I want to like the series, damn it. I'm so mad.
Yeah, I hate that. That's how I felt. I mean, differently, but like I really wanted to like Katie Roberts' new book, and
yeah, it's such a bummer.
I hate that because it like when you have been like having high hopes for something, you know.
Mm-hmm. And it sucks too because it's like with fantasy books are so long. Like this one's what almost 700 pages, and I'm almost at 300. So it's a lot of pages to keep going with.
Right.
It's not like a fast one that you can tear through. How'd you do?
I read 40 pages, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely going to be a series that I want to finish like next year. Like I'm probably gonna. I don't generally let series go that long, like more than like a year or so. So I don't think I'll be able to fit in the second book before the end of the year, but it's definitely going to be a priority series for me.
I'm prioritizing it like January hits. I think I might binge that one next. It's so like super top of my list. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling like a 4 stars? Do you know yet?
Yeah, I'm thinking 4 stars.
Nice.
Not your average hot guy, but he's the son of the devil.
Oh, they were asking if you could use like a son of the devil as royalty, as a stretch. It sounds like.
Yeah, right. I guess there's another name for that book too, but I've not heard of that one either.
Would you classify like a son of a devil as royalty leaning? I feel like it's a stretch, but the devil rules the underworld.
He's the son of the devil.
I think that's what they're asking.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say so. Unless in the book they consider him like
I feel like you could
unless
stretch it.
No? Sorry. Unless in the book they like refer to him as like something like that. Like if they refer to the devil as like the king of the underworld and this and that, but different people have different definitions. So it depends on how the devil's referred to in the book. So if in the book he's referred to as like the king of the underworld, for example, and he's his son, like
or this guy's like the prince. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Then yeah, it just depends on like the book in that situation. So you just have to use your best judgment because I've not heard of that book. Unhappy babiness only ever happens during the chatty bits of the sprints. I think Noah must have fallen or something.
Oh,
he's with my husband, so he's fine.
He's good.
Yeah, no, I just leave them out there by themselves.
Yeah. They're just running.
Fine.
Yeah,
they're fine.
That's the kind of parent I figured you were. No. You guys are so cute with them.
Huh?
You're so good with them.
Oh, thank you. If we stretch to general, it might.
They're saying what I'm saying. So with double.
Right. Yeah. It depends on how it's referred to in the book. Trying to figure out round 2 for levels, but I got 1 for step 2 and 3, having a hard time figuring out step 1. Well, I mean, you don't have to do all of the prompts, and you can just do a couple of the prompts or one of the prompts, and then always just go back if you want to. But you have to get something done for step 1 before you can move on to any of the other steps.
I found it easiest to do a book that had like A in the cover or A in the title, so like Once Upon a Time, because then you can
Right.
like
Mm-hmm.
pretty much. So there's a lot of options for that.
Mm-hmm. I'm loving the bird song, but Poppy is confused in the ASMR in the what's it called? What is it called?
Ambience.
Yes, that word.
Yeah, Fox is really hard of hearing now, so he never notices anything.
Oh. Oh, I love the puppy head tilt. The puppy head tilts everything.
So cute.
Oh, I'm sorry. But at least you get to talk to your daughter. That's awesome. 52 pages. Way to go. That's great. I'll read so fast.
It is.
Unfortunately.
And it's just Rachel from Argent Rabe told me that she liked this book more than book 2, and I think it's maybe better than book 2, but because I'm off of the like book 2 was already slow and I needed this to kick it back up, I think this will be my least favorite so far. So
Boom.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have felt that, well, I've had a couple be really good. Like I loved the Book of Gothel, and I really loved Stay Awake by Megan Miranda, and that was a thriller. But I don't think I've read any new release fantasy books. Generally, when I pick up epic fantasy, I pick up books that I hear like a lot of good things about. Like I don't, because I don't pick up a lot, like I pick up maybe 1 to 3 epic fantasy books a month. I am super picky about it. And I haven't read enough to where I'm okay with being like, let's just take a chance on this random.
New releases are tough too because they get so much hype as they're coming out, and it's not until like a few weeks or a month after they're out that you get the balance of the negative reviews. And sometimes even the negative reviews are too much in like response to the extra hype. So I have a hard time gauging, like I get all excited for it. And then as I'm reading it, then afterward I hear all the like stuff I should have known to be wary of. But I think I've had 2 good releases this year. So Taste of Golden Iron, which I loved, and then This Vicious Grace, and both were fantasy romance. So yeah, I'm not, even Fury Song wasn't as good as I expected it to be. So it is a tough year for releases.
That sucks. Understandable. Getting ready for bed. I managed to read 10 pages of Clara and the Sun done. Of Clara and the Sun done. Still have a ways to go, but want to finish tonight. Awesome reading. Oh, awesome. I hope you like it. It's very slow going, very atmospheric, character driven. I think you'll like it as long as you just know that going in. It's a slow paced book. And it's kind of like, I feel like all about the vibes.
I'm excited for Kristen's thoughts on that one.
Series continuations and conclusions this year haven't done what I wanted. That sucks.
100% agreed.
Marked for step 4. Barnes & Noble copy of Gleanings came in. What is that? I've never heard of that.
Me neither.
Mixed bag of new releases this year. Some I've loved, some. Yeah, I've had what was it? B.A. Paris's new book. That was just awful. That was one of my most anticipated new releases this year. I think I gave it 1 star. It was just god awful. Katie Robert, the Kraken Sacrifice, god awful. I really liked the first book in this series. I love monster romance. And I had high hopes for my first tentacle romance too. And the problem was that she just totally like, the characters had no chemistry and the trauma was not dealt with well, and it was rushed through. The descriptions were awful. It was just done very poorly. It felt like it was like it felt like she wrote it in a week.
Yeah.
Fury Song comment. Yeah.
Kristen, I think I'm torn. I don't know if like it's kind of a 5-star book, but not the 5-star book I wanted. So I feel like I should probably give it 4.5. Like it was still good, but it makes it very clear that this is Annie's series, and I wanted it to be equal both Annie and Lee. And I feel like I didn't love that direction change. And there's some pacing stuff in it too.
I know a lot of people were so excited for that book to come out this year too.
A lot of people loved it. I think I'm in the minority. I still loved it. It's just for a series that maybe it's I had expectations for it, but it's like I love that series so much that it didn't give me the like catharsis I wanted.
Yeah. Oh, Gleanings is okay. My husband read the first 2 books in that series. He never continued. He thought he did. I was like, baby, no, you never finished it. He's like, what?
Have you read it?
You for the library? He's like, I guess not. If I didn't, he's like, I liked the way it ended. I'm like, yeah, apparently most people like the way they wished book 2 was like the ending for that series, from what I've heard. I didn't read it. And I was like, just stick with that from what I've heard.
I DNF'd after book 1.
Oh, okay. Typo. This is what happens when I type on my phone and watch the timer for Melanie.
We knew what you meant.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this afternoon. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time, Maria.
I did. Chatty bits are good. Book is less so.
I think Chris is going to be having Monday. It's afternoon in Europe, morning in the US. That's the next scheduled sprints that I know of. Are there Sunday sprints?
I was planning some tomorrow, and then I don't think I can make them, so I'm going to do next Sunday.
Oh, okay. So I think that's the next ones that I know of are Pris's. So they'll be posted up. I'll try to post them up on the Discord tomorrow. Otherwise,
Rye is having sprints tonight that are technically like Kraken Sacrifice themed.
Yeah, those are the late night crew ones.
Yeah, but she's a fairy godmother's host, so for those that want like sprints, yeah.
Yes, they're going to have sprints today for that. And the next Once Upon a Readathon sprints are Monday morning, and we'll just keep you guys updated. But I hope you guys had a good time, and we will see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Bye.